Hi. Hi. Yes, thank you. Perfect. Hi, my name is Paula. I am the CEO of Linum Labs. We are a Web3 software development company, so we develop Web3 solutions for our clients, so smart contracts, full stack, end-to-end. Before I get into it, I would like to ask everyone to bear with me. Up until yesterday, I was dead certain I was on a panel. So to my surprise yesterday, I really read everything and realized it was a presentation. But I am excited to share some things with you today, and I figured it would be a good spot to talk about some of the things we have been building. So we've been around since 2016, and obviously that's been a while, and we have evolved with the market. So we started off with consulting. We actually started off largely here in Switzerland, consulting banks, helping them learn what the heck blockchain was. Over time, we then built internal projects that we spun out, different DAOs that we built. Over the past 3 years, we've been focused in on Web3 development as an agency. So 2021 was a big year of NFT marketplaces. We built quite a few of those. I'm not going to talk about that today because it is not 2021. But we built quite a few of those. This year we've built different staking contracts. So we've currently built something with EtherFi that's currently holding, I think, over 50 million in the contracts. So we built quite a big range of Web3 projects. But it would be hard to ignore that over the past 3-4 months, we have seen a huge growth in the AI department, and I think everyone here can agree it's most likely the future in some way. And we've said that about blockchain for a while too, and internally we decided, like, how can we marry those two together? How can we have blockchain, or how can we have AI support blockchain? And this is something we started looking into around September of last year, so started thinking about it. And in January, we brought on a team of AI developers and machine learning developers to, see what we could do there. So we brought on a small team, and we were just like, hey, just break things. Just break things in the corner. What's possible? Learn. CTO, I want you to learn about machine learning too. So we put them in there, and we were like, where could this actually be of use? And something we came upon was DAOs. Machine learning is obviously really, really great for managing data, helping go through data, and suggesting things. And one thing we see with DAOs is, a huge issue in governance, a huge issue in information overload, where to start. So that we decided to focus in on there. And we were like, let's start by building a prototype internally and see what we can do. So first off, we were looking at all the DAOs and how many are active and how many have proposals. And one thing we saw is that over 60% or 55% of all DAOs on Snapshot never launched a single proposal, period. And only 1% launched more than 100, and only about 12% launched even more than 6. So, most DAOs that make the Snapshot don't even come out with a proposal. And then of the proposals that do go out, only about 30% of them get even 11 votes. So, we examined 13,000 DAOs and 51,000 proposals to come to that. So one thing we saw, and a place where we were like, we can start off here, is trying to help DAOs even figure out, let's get a proposal out the door, where to start. So actually, let me take it back. So then we also analyzed all the keywords that you would see in proposals. So of the different proposals, which words were more likely, if included, would be accepted versus rejected, and in what frequency. And we came out with this cluster map, which is one of the tools that is used to help analyze data. And comically, AI was very, very often rejected, so it's there in the corner. So some of the words that we saw that get accepted the most is governance, trading, voting, liquidity, and then a lot of these words that don't get accepted, and harder to put on a map, but like how the proposals are written. So using this data, they created an algorithm internally that basically would help write proposals that are more likely to be accepted by users versus proposals that are rejected. And so this is pretty basic, but it's, we created a pipeline that a user could come in with an idea for their DAO. It would be prompted using the LLM that we created with the keywords. We'd be able to spit you out a proposal that you could launch. So we used few-shot prompting, and for those who don't know, few-shot prompting is a specific type of AI model that uses all the data, but then also uses a couple specific data pieces that you might feed it, a smaller domain amount, to come in with something even more specialized. So obviously, ChatGPT is not that because it uses all the data, but if you feed it a couple pieces of data to specifically look at, then you start going in the few-shot area. And while it is more contained and maybe isn't as, doesn't have quite a breadth of expertise, it is more domain knowledge. So we built a model around that. So to start off, we just kind of came in and just pitched our model like, hey, create an emergency plan in the event of MakerDAO regulation. And we fed it some examples, used the algorithm, and it basically spat out that, it's funny, it says, after an extensive discussion with the DAO. I'm like, okay, all right, sure. I don't know who the AI was discussing with, but it proposes an emergency plan, and it basically says to trade out 20,000 of ghosts quickly to USDC, and it comes out with a kind of a specific plan there, but it's it doesn't really say why and everything, but we thought this was a good start. And then we went a little bit further and we said, so basically come out with a proposal in general. We wanted to see, you're a brand new DAO. We didn't give it too much information besides you're kind of in the lending and DeFi space, so pool proposals that are more from the lending and DeFi area versus NFTs or anything like that. But create a proposal that's useful for the community and will gain popularity. And, sorry, did not want to do that one. This is where I was putting it together yesterday. So create a proposal that uses some examples for DAOs to attract token holders. And basically, it came out with this pitch, and it basically said, with the recent proposal by Stargate, that we suggest to the DAO to whitelist the protocol for V3 portals, showing the growing importance of multi-chain solutions in the DeFi ecosystem. It was a good proposal. It was a bit specific. It's like, cool, maybe this DAO could do it. So we wanted to go a little bit further and have it create, a couple of ideas, because, maybe one won't work. So let's see if you provide several ideas. So then it's provided more. It said, perhaps create a DAO grants program. And this would attract users to it and incentivize people to get involved. Or alternatively, launch a DAO ambassador program. So both of those made sense, but we did find them to be just a bit generic. So then we went a bit further, and we were like, okay, can you create specific proposals for these specific DAOs? Please don't come up with generic ideas. If you don't have any ideas, just let us know you don't have ideas. So then it went further, and we did the Botto DAO and GenArt DAO, and basically it said the Botto DAO should create a partnership program for more artists to help increase their popularity. And it decided that because the Botto DAO had just had a successful collaboration that brought in quite a bit of engagement, and the DAO or the AI suggested building upon that. And then additionally for the GenArt DAO, it basically said there was an issue with the liquidity there, so it suggested to increase the number of token holders and provide liquidity. It suggested a secondary sales liquidity program to be implemented. And so it gives a motivation, it gives the proposal, we've all probably used ChatGPT at this point. ChatGPT can do some of this, but this is built on top of it, and it's very specific to DAOs. It goes through, it reads the proposals. It doesn't come up with generic ideas. So that's... so this is some of the things. We did create a basic UI implementation around it, and we still have a bit to build on it. This is a very early prototype, just so our team internally can learn how to use this stuff. But basically, we came up and we were like, okay, you come in with your DAO name. Let's say you're brand new. This is your keywords, liquidity, treasury, LP lending. You don't even know what you want to start out with. So then it would suggest some proposals like, hey, start looking through these. This could be relevant to you. You can look through those. If you don't think that they're good enough, you can keep having it render more. And then it would, based on that, if you liked the things it proposed to you, it would create several ideas over. So you could implement a lending platform, you could create a liquidity provision, you can establish a strategic partnership. And so it would give you 9 ideas, and you could pick whichever ones you thought was more relevant and be like, hey, actually generate the full proposal for that. So if you picked one, you could implement a lending platform, and it would give you the description, the reasonings why, and the technical specification, what it would require to actually build it. You can then expand on it more, but this is how you would start off with the first version of the proposal. And, I think we're at a place where chat is exciting on the AI front, but I think we're at a place where it's like, okay, what's next? And some of the things that, could happen here if that's something that people wanted to happen, is you could potentially connect the AI with DAOs in general. And so not only is it pitching ideas, but it's also perhaps it can connect to you as a person and help you as a person actually go through the proposals on DAOs that you're engaged with and help you decide which way you should maybe vote. So it's not as much information coming to you specifically. If you wanted further, you could connect it to the Gnosis multisig, and this is where it gets a little wild, but the AI could potentially make the decisions if you wanted it to do that. And a lot of the DAO mechanics that we like in theory, we like the decentralization, we like all that, but the people aren't really going through the hard work of it. You could connect AI to it, and you could optimize it in that way. I mean, you do come into questions like, will the AI take over? I don't know, but, that is a potential next step of where it could go. Internally, we've just had additional fun just having the AI team on our team. So they've also, idea for anybody with the company, we've also done things where we've given it all our docs, all our employee handbooks, all our Notion docs, access to some of our chats, and it's basically like you can ask it like, what are the values? I mean, that's kind of boring, but who's this person? What's this person's job? And it can just spit it out. What's the vacation policy? Who's working on this project? And that's just kind of nice and efficient because, those are just the questions that everybody's always asking each other. So we put that. I deleted the slide that now I wish I hadn't. My CTO had put one where it's like, is Paula funny? And I was like, I don't know what data you gave it for that, but it's like, oh, she's nice. But yeah, so we built some stuff internally, and it's something that we are ready. We've started working with some of our clients to see, what kind of overlap they could have, and started working to build some things like that. But yeah, we actually feel quite confident with the team that has joined since January and their understanding of both Web3 and blockchain. So if you're interested in developing in that specific niche, chat with me, or just general Web3. But yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm Paula.